NASA's first ever attempt to strike an asteroid and knock it off course. William Brangham has all the details.
Judy, NASA today pulled off a historic first. Take a look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. Awaiting visual confirmation.
This is video received just a few moments ago of the exact moment when NASA's DART spacecraft approached and then crashed into that asteroid 100 million miles away. We'll talk with science correspondent Miles O'Brien in just a moment. But first, here's his report on exactly what NASA was attempting with this mission.
Planet Earth is practicing defense, David and Goliath style. A spacecraft the size of a vending machine is hurtling toward a kamikaze dive into an asteroid the size of a Great Pyramid.
DART is the biggest engineer's dream ever.
Elena Adams is the systems engineer for the Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART. It's a $330 million NASA mission designed at the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory in Laurel, Maryland.
Liftoff of the...
Launched in November of 2021, DART is nearing the end of a 107 million mile journey to the asteroid Didymos.
Our job is to go hit an asteroid, and that's a very specific job for planetary defense.
Their target is actually the asteroid's moon, Dimorphos. DART is programmed to auger in at 14,000 miles an hour. Engineers hope the 1,300-pound spacecraft will nudge the 5 billion-ton Dimorphos into a new orbit. Dimorphos is not headed toward Earth. It's just a test.
This is the first time in human history that we've actually set out to change the orbit of a natural object in space.
Lindley Johnson is NASA's planetary defense officer.
The orbit of an object is determined by the velocity at which it is orbiting. So if you just, shave a hair, less than 1% off of that speed, you've changed the orbit and, forever altered where that object will be in space in the future.
Our planet gets grazed and hit by asteroids all the time. Most offer harmless thrills for stargazers, but the bigger ones are a different story. In 2013, a 60-foot asteroid exploded about 100,000 feet over Chelyabinsk, Russia. About 1,500 were injured by shattering glass. Over the epochs, much bigger asteroids have triggered mass extinctions, including, most infamously, the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Planetary scientist Nancy Chabot is coordination lead for DART. Is it accurate to say it's inevitable over the course of time that there will be some rock of relatively big size, which has our number on it?
So this is going to continue in the future. It is sort of a cosmic, inevitability at this point. The good news is, of the asteroids that we're tracking, there are no known threats, right? But this is also why we need to find all these asteroids and figure out where they are.
In 2005, Congress directed NASA to find 90% of potentially hazardous near-Earth objects 460 feet or larger by the end of 2020. So far, ground-based surveys have found all the planet killers they can see, but only about 40% of the asteroids big enough to wipe out a city. At this rate, it would take 30 years to approach the finish line. But no matter how hard they try, they will never cross it using only ground-based telescopes.
So there's a whole half of the sky we're not looking at because basically the glare of the sun prevents you from looking there very easily.
Astronomer Scott Shepard is a senior research scientist at the Carnegie Institution for Science.
The ones that are most concerning are the ones that spend almost all their time in the daylight, that just get up to where Earth's orbit is or just barely cross it. So the vast majority of their time is in the daylight.
Shepard is using the National Science Foundation's Blanco telescope in Chile to look for the holy grail of astronomy, Planet X.